What's up, Sky Squad? We are back in the building. Yes, we are back in the building. And we got to get into this whole live that Porsha just did. And I had a feeling it was going to be about this situation with this Vulture article. Now, we talked about the Vulture article yesterday, the one where we got the tea about this sort of behind the scenes beef between Kandi, Porsha, and Nene that Kenya basically told us about, and Kandi speak on it as well. So I put the clues together for a lot of people who may not have, even understood the story. I tried my best to put the pieces together. And I also tried to summarize what the article stated as well. I also placed the link in the description for you guys to read. So you guys should have had that information as well. The article is in the description in the description of this video right now. So you guys can go check that out at your leisure to find out exactly everything that was stated in this article. Now, when I saw that Porsha was going to go live today, I didn't know whether she was going to be making some type of announcement about her time on Real Housewives of Atlanta, or if she would be going into detail about the article to defend herself or what. But it turns out that we were correct. She was going in to this live to defend herself with regards to the things that were said in Kandi Speak on It with Kenya Moore, as well as the things that were stated in the article. Now, the article was not necessarily a negative towards Porsha, but there were some things that sort of painted her in not the best light. However, I do have to point out that the article stated that they reached out to Porsha, but at the time she declined to comment. So she did have an opportunity, or allegedly she had an opportunity to speak to the publication, but at the time, I guess she chose not to. I think having the information come out and then all the pieces being put together, I think that she just felt the need to go ahead and clear the air in her live, and she was able to do that. So I did want to state that for anybody who didn't read it, the article was not a negative about Porsha. In fact, the article actually spoke very highly of Porsha. It's just that when you began to put the pieces together, it began to sort of maybe not look as favorable for her overall, okay? And we had a discussion about that as well with regards to that, based on how it sort of seemed to us. Now, to get into what she stated tonight, I'm going to basically run down the things that she said, and then we're going to take a piece. We're going to look at a portion of the video that she did in her live. Now, I will tell you a couple of things before I get started. One, the live is still on her page. I am only going to go through an excerpt of it, a small portion of it, because otherwise it will be a whole nother 30 to 40 minute video. And I feel like I can give you guys the information in less time than that. Okay, so we're only going to go over a small portion of it where I feel like she adequately describes the situation, and we'll talk about it as we go through the video. But to give you the highlights of basically what she said, I'm going to tell you the highlights right now. One, she said that there was a conversation between her and Nene, and there was also a conversation, I guess, that had been leaked to the blogs. Then Nene and her had a conversation about them wishing that Kandi had waited to approach the executives with the rest of the ladies because they wanted to approach the situation together. Two, she said that she did not dog Nene out, and she did not dog Kandi out. And she said that Nene did not dog Kandi out either. And she presents text messages to show as such as well. She even posted the text messages on her IG stories. The IG stories are still up, and she said she was going to leave them there. I will let you go to the IG story to read them. They are still up right now as we speak. But I also wanted to make sure we highlighted this banner right here, because this was something that was important for her during her live that she did want to end with. And so you guys can visit the campaign to end qualifiedimmunity.org. I want to make sure I keep this present, because once we talk about all of this, you'll understand why this is important at the end, okay? So the reason why, and she said it was true that she wanted to have the scene where Kandi approached her on camera at Todd's birthday party, which was not shown in the season. She did ask for that scene to be removed because what happened in that scene was that when Kandi approached her, they had a conversation. She knew that Kandi wanted to address her. She didn't know what it was about. She went into the scene with an open mind and said, that's fine. We can have that conversation. They had the conversation. Apparently, Kenya Moore came into the picture and it got heated and it went all to pieces. She said in that moment, she recognized that they were fighting about some things that they were planning to do for the Black Lives Matter movement and the network and the show. And she felt as though she did not want to have them fighting on the show about that. And she felt like it would not be a good look for them to be fighting about that on national television. So what I will say is this. Kenya was actually correct. This scene was never shown. This did all happen. Kenya alerted us to that. But what Porsha lets us know is that allegedly the network has asked Kenya not to repeat that and to keep that quiet. And she said that Kenya is refusing to do so in an attempt to say that Porsha is trying to silence her. Now, we got a couple of super chats here. We have Queen who says, glad I caught your live. Congratulations on your wedding. Love you. Thank you so much for the super chat. We got another one from Catherine Forehand who says, thank you for everything you give us, especially when you give us great information. We appreciate you. Thank you. I try my hardest to give you guys, and I thank you for that, Catherine Forehand. I try to give you guys basically what's published. You know what I'm saying? When I do these stories, I'm not really trying to break any news. I always say, and I've always said from the beginning of this, is that I want to just talk about the stories that are breaking. So I'm basically just giving you guys the information that is already out there. I will always give you, as best to my knowledge or as best as I can, the resources to go and find more information about the stories that I'm talking about so that you guys are well equipped with the knowledge that you need if you want more information. That is what I'm doing here. So with that being said, I want to get into a little bit about, thank you, CEO's War, for that super chat. I want to get into a little bit of, what she had to say. I will stop in a couple of places to just give some commentary because that's what I have to do on this platform. And you guys can sort of judge for yourself. And you can also read those text messages for yourself so that you guys can get a better picture of what's going on. Again, her full live is saved on her page because I know somebody will say, you didn't show her whole live. No, I'm not going to show her whole live because it is still on her page. Okay. And she said she's going to leave it on her IGTV for you guys to go back and review. I'm going to give you the smallest portion, a small portion of this so that you have, and it's the portion where I feel like she tells the story most succinctly so that you guys can understand it and get the information that you need from it. So without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into that right now. Okay.
Anyway, these are the texts that I sent her that I talked about with Kandi. So I said to her, I was talking to Nene, and I said, I was talking to Nene, and I said, so because all of that, this is me saying that Kandi emailed, I wish we would have known what happened. I'm going to put all of these texts into my story after this live, so don't worry. I said, so because of that, which was because Kandi had already spoke to them, it is what it is. We're not upset about it because she did. Let's pivot so we can still be effective. I said, so because of that, I don't think it's going to go anywhere besides asking for a donation. Nene said, right. So then I said to her, I said, now there is no way to come to Bravo as a group. Everyone might as well send their own email. I said anything program related would have been, anything program related, we would want True to produce, which is our production company, and pitch to Bravo because we are Bravo talent.
Okay, so what's happening here is, for those who may not necessarily understand the story as of yet, what Porsha is doing right now is reading text messages between her and Nene. She screenshotted this text message exchange and sent it to Kandi. She sent it to Kandi to show Kandi that they were not bad-mouthing her as had been indicated, I guess. I didn't see or I didn't know where it had been published, but she says here that she is sending Kandi the screenshots to prove that they were basically just concerned that they weren't all able to go to the network together. Okay. And she says in this message, and she says in these text messages, that it wasn't anything to be negative about Kandi. She just wishes that they had been able to do it together. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate you sharing. Richie, you are working tonight. Yes, indeed, Lord, we are working. So let me get back to it.
So you will go through True in order to pitch any programming to the network. So then I said, so for me, really, when we talk to the executives tomorrow, I said, I really think we should focus on asking for a donation ask. I said, as for the rest of the ladies, they can express what they want in their own. So we as a group, since Kandi, on her own right, she had the right to, went ahead and talked to them on her own. We as a group, the only way we're going to really be effective at this point is if we simply ask for a donation. So then I told her, I just kind of summarized what that text was with Nene. And I said to her, I'm not going to let the show make a mockery of BLM. I said, we have been doing great things and cannot let this overshadow our efforts. This is what I said to Kandi. She said to me, I didn't think it was about BLM. She said, I'm definitely not trying to make a mockery. She said, but I didn't think that's what was happening. So that's an opportunity for me to explain to her, Kandi, that no, this is a mockery. If we as black women are sitting on Bravo arguing about Black Lives Matter, you're absolutely making a mockery of us using our platform.
So she's talking here about if they had kept on the show the argument between her, Kandi, and Kenya at Todd's birthday party, then she feels like it would have been making a mockery of the Black Lives Matter movement and the work they were all trying to get done, whether it be separately or together. So that is why she's saying that she requested that not be shown on the show.
And that's a bad thing. And it's a terrible look. And it's not progressive. It's counterproductive. So then I sent her another text. I sent her that text that I just read you guys. And I sent another text. Okay. After I said that, Nene said I feel the same. So then this is the part where so-called I was dogging her. Kenya keeps going on all these outlets. Now she's on Vulture saying that I want to look better. I want to be ahead of the movement. She said on Kandi Speak On It that I am trying to come at Kandi and all that I dogged Kandi out. I was talking crap about Kandi. This is what I said. Nene said, I feel the same. I said, sad though. Damn, could have even great together. Of course I meant could have been even great together. Nene said, very sad. After she said very sad, I said, but if any of you ladies want my individual support or on something, let me know. Nene said, okay, P. Nene never dog walked Kandi. I never spoke bad about Kandi. All we were saying, and I'll sum it all up, is that there was a misunderstanding between Kandi and I about a blogger who took something out of context. Kandi had gone on to the Bravo and spoke to them. Nene and I felt like, well, that's sad. We could have gone to Bravo together, but since this is where we are, let's pivot and just simply ask for a donation. Kandi's, what she wants are equitable opportunities for people. I'm more on the criminal justice side. So she wanted programming. She wanted to help get a seat at the table. And all of that is great. And to show you that I felt it was great, when she did her first show, I was on the show with her. You guys remember me on the panel for Black Lives Matter for Bravo. That was Kandi's show that I participated in. I have always supported her and will always support another black woman in the movement in anything she's trying to do, whether it's on the business side, in the front line, or to policy. Either way, I'm going to support it. And I am held to a certain standard because of my position on Housewives, and I'm held to a certain responsibility to Black Lives Matter to be responsible. Do y'all remember when I, back in the day, said something crazy about, the Underground Railroad? That was irresponsible. That wasn't the way to use my platform. That was ignorant. And I decided over the years I was going to be better, period. And if I'm going to be better and I'm going to be effective, then I need to take responsibility for how I look, what I portray, how all of us black women on Housewives portray ourselves in this moment. Because it's very important. You can't be asking white folks to change something. You can't be asking white folks to help you make something better, give you a seat at the table, and you acting. So therefore, I did not want that to be on the show. Whether it was true or not, whether it was a misunderstanding or not, whether I was right or wrong, which I happen to have been right, I did not want it on there. But Kenya Moore continues to go on every platform out. And the Bravo is telling her, do not talk about this. And she's using it to say, Porsha's trying to silence me from talking about a scene she had deleted. No, I didn't have a scene deleted for Porsha. Because what you don't understand, sweetheart, is that the movement is not about me as an individual at all. And that means, and you would understand that if you could sacrifice something for someone else.
And let me say this, because I saw somebody say something about me editing the video. I try to explain this in the beginning, and I knew somebody was going to misconstrue it, so I feel like I got to say it again. The whole live is still on her page. This is just simply a portion of it so that we can discuss it. Okay, this is not chopped up, screwed, and edited. I just added some background music so it can sound a little bit more pleasing. Okay, that's it. Okay, so this is just a small clip. Okay, that's it.
Anything I've ever done on and majority off camera is a sacrifice for someone else. If I care so much about who I was, my platform, my jobs, my businesses, then I would not be speaking out about something that white folks don't like. And that's not the case. I speak from my heart. I deal in my heart because it's in my blood. It's in my legacy.
All right, so there you have it, straight from the mouth of Porsha. Exactly her stance on this whole situation. And she ended her video, and I think that I would encourage everybody to go listen to the entire video because of where it goes, especially towards the end. One of the things that she had on there, especially at the end, was she talked about, while she had the platform, she talked about ending qualified immunity. And I thought it was so important. And there were a lot of people that you could tell just really kind of came for the Real Housewives of Atlanta tea. And I understand that. But she ended definitely with talking about this issue. And so I wanted to make sure that we took the time to highlight it here as well, because I think it's important, especially with the work that I feel like each of the ladies have done. Just to kind of give you my perspective on where we are with it at this point in time. Tish, I wasn't talking about you. Tish says, no, I meant with the bleep out, not the video itself. I love you and I love Porsha. Thank you. No, that wasn't directed towards you. It was another comment that I saw, or at least I thought I saw. And thank you for that super chat, Tish. I love you, girl. Listening to her talk about this issue and listening to her explain the situation, I left with the feeling that her live was genuine. I also left with the feeling that the work that she and Nene and Kandi were all trying to do was genuine. I think that there were some lines of communication that could have been open, and even in the text message, there's a point where Kandi says, you should have just called me, girl. And when I looked at that and I hear Porsha and I'm thinking about the things that she clarified with Nene, because she did clarify some things about what Nene was trying to do as well. They had a separate group conversation where Nene was in a separate group message because her and Kenya weren't getting along. So that's the reason why there was one group message and then there was a whole nother group message as well. And she talks about how, Nene was definitely trying to corral all the ladies to band together to do work together. And for Porsha, what she was saying was that she was wanting to work with a production company that produces Real Housewives of Atlanta, which is true. Because I'm assuming that she was thinking that would be the protocol, since they're the producers that they have direct contact with. I think that each lady had a mission and an objective, and I think unfortunately they didn't communicate well especially with having these multiple groups and stuff like that. I don't think that there was any side here that had any malice. In my mind, it seems like the ladies had different objectives. Okay, they had different asks that they wanted from the network. Kandi had her ask that she saw. Okay, and then Porsha had her asks, and then Nene had her ask. But what then Porsha says that she did afterwards, they had to pivot. Okay, and that she encouraged each lady to approach the network with their own ask, and that she wanted to initially avoid having each one of them reach out to the network separately, because she didn't want it to cause confusion or chaos. Having said that, what I hope happens from this situation is, and the reason I feel like this became such a big thing is because that article in Vulture was huge. I'm telling you guys, it was huge. And if you go back to the article, I'll put it in the description. I will put it right here again in this link. And I'm telling you guys, it is so good. It is not a bash Porsha piece. It's not that in any way, shape, or form. They are very complimentary of her when they do speak about her. It's just that one issue that I felt like was really big. And it was one of the biggest things that I found relevant in the article to the topics of conversation that we have. Okay. Having said that, what I want to tell you is that when you go visit the article, and interestingly enough, is called The Soul of Bravo, a year of national reckonings on race and equality has tested how real the housewives should be. The irony of the title of that article is that it really reflects what we're seeing now, in that there was really a situation that was occurring behind the scenes that was really real about the movement that was happening within the group. And unfortunately, it couldn't be shown because it was too real. So it's an interesting situation and an interesting juxtaposition and I feel like if you're a real true fan of reality television, and you really get into the intellectual discussions, and you really want to see the patterns that the network has sort of taken over the years with their approach to this type of conflict, and the evolution of that approach to where it is now, go read the article. Go read the article. I am telling you, I promise you, you will leave. And I know a lot of people are just here for the Kenya versus Porsha, Kenya versus Kandi. And I get it, that makes a lot of sense. But I think that for some of us, and I would say a large portion of us who are listening right now and who are involved in this and who feel as passionately as I think I do, and I see a lot of you do, I think that when you read this article, you will understand the magnitude and the impact that it has, because it's a powerful piece. It's a really powerful piece. And I think it says a lot about where we are in the state of reality TV right now. So that's why I encouraged you guys to read it, to get into every little detail. Again, you can go visit Porsha's page and listen to the entire live. She really gets impassioned about what she's talking about. I think that Kandi being, Kandi is a boss in her own right. And so I think that she was taking an initiative, and I think the lines will cross. But ultimately, what we did hear from that situation, even with Kandi on her speak on it, she did say that her and Porsha were good. I don't know where they will be at this point moving forward. That's what's going to be interesting at this point as we sort of head into tomorrow and the days beyond, because, Kandi will speak on it as well. So we'll get to, I'm sure, hear her perspective at some point in time as things move forward. The thing that I feel like would have been really nice, and I'm looking to see if I missed any super chats. I apologize because I wanted to get the information out. I enjoy your content and you are classic. Congratulations on the wedding. Thank you so much, T. Dowling. I appreciate you. one of the things that I wish that would happen is that I really wish that Porsha would go on speak on it. But one of the things that Porsha said that she was trying her hardest to do this season, and I noticed this, Porsha said, for her this season, the work that she is doing is, and I'm paraphrasing here, is superseding the shade of the show, meaning she's not as willing to participate in sort of the online back and forth, the comments, on social media, doing a lot of the, interviews, and she will only talk about the show when she is paid to talk about the show. Okay. And that is on Bravo chat room. That is on Dish Nation. That's if she's on Watch What Happens Live, and that is when she is on the show. She does not want to talk about the show or shading any of the ladies or responding to anything except when she's paid to do so. But she felt like in this situation, she needed to come online, speak on her piece, and defend herself. I'm basically just giving you what she said. Okay. And I had kind of peeped that myself. But at the end of the day, I would like to see her sit down with Kandi for a speak on it, because what I feel like keeps happening is I feel like people, whether they do it consciously or subconsciously, I feel like sometimes the cast members on that show tend to pit Porsha and Kandi against each other, because they go back to, 4 years ago with the whole dungeon situation that Phaedra allegedly told Porsha, and then Porsha said on camera. The two of them have made up from that situation, but everybody knows that it will always be a rocky road because of that. And it will be easy at any moment in time for that road to get even rockier if somebody just throws a pebble in it. Joan, thank you for the super chat. Says, hey, Richie, any news on BLM founder Patrice Culler's financial investigation? Apparently, she recently bought 4 expensive home tour, which are many mentions. I don't even know about that situation at all. But thank you for the super chat. And so I just feel like, if Kandi and Porsha did a speak on it together, I feel like it's very much needed. And I feel like the two of them could easily hash it out and have a real dialogue and conversation and come together about the whole situation. I don't know that will ever happen. I feel like it may not at this point. And again, one of those reasons I feel like that is because it's so funny to me. And I just got to be honest with you guys. I think when I first started this channel, I don't like when people post text messages. So, and I've grown to this point, like I'm here now. I wasn't, I think at first when I started the channel, I was just kind of like, ooh, look at the text message posted and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that I won't ever do it, if somebody posts something, but in this instance, I just didn't feel comfortable posting those text messages, but you guys can go read them on Porsha's IG story if you want. But that's just how I feel. And I have to be honest about that and about where I am today on April 15th, 2021. Now, I'm liable to change my mind at any point in time, okay, because I am free to do so, okay? So on May 21st of 2021, I might feel differently. But as of today, April 15th, that's how I feel. So y'all can go read those text messages over there. But I don't know that that's going to help their situation. That's what I'm saying. And I got to be honest about that. So, and I don't know if, my hope is that Porsha got permission from Nene to post those text messages, okay? Or to have sent those to Kandi, because a lot of this situation involved Nene as well. But Porsha was not negative about Nene. I felt like she was trying to clear the air and really speak on what the work that she and Nene were trying to do together. So that's just that. So we'll just have to see what happens next. But I just don't know that this is going, it was a good live. It was a very good live, but you never know how people, the problem is you just never know how people are going to react to these things. So that's that. I think we had another super chat. I just want to make sure that I acknowledge it if I can. So let me scroll back up. And I do appreciate each and every one of the super chats. Sometimes if I'm talking though, I will get to y'all know me. I get to get on my soapbox and get my point across. And I saw somebody say the whole situation is just sad. Now, especially knowing kind of all parts of the situation, I do feel bad. And this super chat comes from Bruce, who says, Nene's name stays in their mouths. They need her for this show to continue being relevant. Love me some Porsha, but Kandi has always been for the culture and sharing her blessings over Kenya versus Porsha. Hashtag I'm sleep. Thank you, Bruce, for that super chat. And I apologize for not being able to put it on the screen. I can't scroll back up to it. And I'm sure Nene is just probably somewhere like, why is my name being brought up in this at all? Zeus, who says, I would love to see them work it out. Kandi and Porsha will be a powerhouse. A lot of people would like to see them fall crabs in a barrel. Yeah, I would like to see them, at least be able to come together, especially because I feel like the issue that they're fighting for is something that we all can take a part in and do our own part separately and together. So I think it's unfortunate that we're at this state. We have one more super chat coming in from Anita, who says all the storylines are dry as the Grand Canyon. They need to bring something or someone new. Yeah, thank you for that super chat. Miss T Joy says, I hope that this can just be over now. I hope so too, to be quite honest with you. I left that live feeling like I really don't want them to be beefing over this. And I just have to be transparent about that, because I think that each of those ladies had good intentions. That's how I feel at this point. Yeah, I think that I just, because we're talking, and because of the issue that we're talking about, and because of what everybody is fighting for, I don't want this to continue. I don't. I really don't. As I continue to look at the broader scope of this situation, hopefully they can just work it out and move on and figure out a way to work together behind the scenes for the cause. So that's that. But I just wanted to come and bring y'all that information and, talk about this for a little bit, because I knew that I was getting tagged while we were watching the video and stuff like that. And I wanted to make sure that we at least came and talked about it, as a community. And I wanted to do it tonight because I don't want to talk about this tomorrow. Unless we have to, unless something else pops up, then, of course we're going to talk about it. But, for the most part, I want each of these ladies to win in that regard, because I feel like the work that they are both doing is important. Kiki says, Richie, it would be great if someone neutral could facilitate a spinoff with Kandi, Porsha, sit down, speak on it isn't a safe space. I can understand how that could be perceived as well. Yeah, I think a neutral ground outside of a reunion stage, outside of the other group of ladies, I think that having them sit down together to really, really have a moment to say, where do we go? How do we fix this relationship? Because it always seems like there's something that it just can't go right for long. So hopefully we'll see something of that happen. I don't know. But I wanted to bring y'all this information. Listen, y'all, Get some rest tonight. Y'all get some good sleep tonight. Y'all know we'll come back tomorrow if we have anything. Keisha says, oh, wait, what was it? Keisha said red table talk. That could be good. Yeah, y'all get some good rest tonight. Y'all know we'll be back tomorrow if there's any news popping off. With that being said, I did receive some packages from a couple of people, so I want to find a creative way to open those packages. I don't know if it would be cool to do it in a video or what, but I'll find a way to promote, because y'all know I want to promote whoever send me some stuff or whatever, because I think it's cool. But with that being said, I will catch y'all in the next video. Y'all get some sleep. Love y'all.